Hey Jeff,
Hey, Dr. Stedman, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You keeping 71st straight?
Trying to.
I was at your school a few weeks ago. The media coordinator's in the program now. So, hey again, Dr. Lamb. Okay, Dr. Lamb, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over so you can pull up whatever you need to pull up. Uh, Make the host. Okay, yes. Okay, it is done. Okay. Hey, Jessica and Stephanie. Jessica, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Okay. Okay. I assume you have the new baby now, right?
I do.
How old?
She's 2 weeks today.
2 weeks today. Congratulations.
Thank you. You can hear her.
Yes, yes. That's great.
Thank you.
What did you name her?
Carter Louise.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you. She's a good baby.
That's great. Okay. Hey, Stephanie.
Hello.
Okay. Everything going well at the 71st Classical Middle School? Okay, she's on her phone. Okay. Out of the 9, Dr. Lamb, all 8 of them were supposed to be with us.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
Dr. Hamilton here, call right in the middle of everything.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. I'll talk to everybody. Hey, Nadine.
Hey,
Hey,
How are you doing?
Sure. Yeah, Danny's legacy interns. I'm going to talk with them a little bit. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not even looking for narrative on those. Just a thing, an icon, an artifact that was generated by either your work, your 80-hour clinical experiences when you do your list of suggested activities. For example, if you held a parent night, if you have an agenda for that, you can scan it in or take a picture of your phone, or if it's on a screen, you can screenshot it. And I'm going to go over that with you in just a minute when we're going to go to TaskStream in a minute. I'm going to show you a couple things. But for your competencies, you write your competencies in the last task of your evidence artifacts, and then you copy and paste those into your competency analysis and submit that. In the competency folio, it's just for things. You don't have to write us anything, or just maybe a sentence or two of explanation if it's not self-evident. But it's more about when principals are evaluated in North Carolina, they're evaluated on the basis, and in South Carolina too, in large part, basis of evidence and artifacts. The evidence is the written write-up of what you did, and the artifacts was generated as a result of having done that work. And so if you go to the evaluation manuals, principals, assistant principal evaluation manuals, oh, God, it's evidence artifacts again. I thought I was going to be done with those. No, that's why we're teaching you this way. You will have to have a written narrative of what you did in all of the areas of your school improvement plan, in the instructional piece, the staff development piece. You'll have to, in the cultural piece and school and community parent relations piece, you'll have to write them up what you did, but then you'll have to have things that you have generated as a result of having done that work. So your competency folio is just those artifacts, those things. It shouldn't take you a long period of time to do that. You do those naturally, and when you complete your evidence, your 6 evidences, and when you do your clinical activities as a clinical intern, you generate those things. We just trying to teach you how to catalog and map out and keep up with those things, because you're going to need them when you get evaluated when you get your job. So the last round of those is due this semester. You upload it and comments requested, and then you submit it to TaskStream DRF portfolio for evaluation. I made a very short video at the end of last week, and if everybody that's in 605 in your class, they have that video, and they've shared that with you of how when it's complete, and only when it's complete, you can move your competency folio over to your DRF portfolio and submit it for evaluation. That's people who are in 605 this semester. And so I have held off doing that because I was afraid that people would submit incomplete portfolios, and then we'd have to go back and start you all over again. I can't
Dr.
send
Lamb, just again, that is for Laura and for Travis. This semester, because this is being
anybody that's in 605. So yeah, I guess it would be. Let's see. Do we have anybody else in 605 besides Laura and Travis?
the other 7 are in the fall. I mean, in the spring 2017. If I'm wrong, any of you let me know. But I think all of you are spring 2017 in the 5 semester.
Yeah, that should be right. So yeah, this will be just for Laura and for Travis. But anybody that's in 605, and the reason why I keep saying that is some people come back into the program, and we're not always on sequence like we used to be. We're now letting people come back in. We don't make them sit out and get back on sequence again. So we're teaching off sequence. So sometimes we have students that we shouldn't have anybody but just fall 16 people in 605. But I've got about a dozen scattered around in the 315 of our students that are in 605 this semester that did not start in fall of 16. So whether you started in fall of 16 or not, if you're in 605, this is for you. All right, and so then complete your TaskStream DRF portfolio, SOE dispositions, and your competency analysis. Now, for you folks who are in fall of 16, Travis and Laura, I don't believe you have to put anything in that other than you just click on MET for your competency analysis, because we have you write all your competency analysis in task 6 of the SIOP. So if you go look at the SIOP, you're like, oh my Lord, I've got to write all that and do a competency analysis? No, the competency analysis is just click on MET on all of those. Once you get task 6 of the SIOP done, you can go in and click on MET on all of those competencies in competency analysis and submit it. And what we'll do is we'll just go and look and make sure that you've done SIOP task 6, because that's where you wrote them all. So don't write them separate. There's nothing to write for that one. It's just clicking on the buttons. And so that's if you are in 605 this semester and started fall of 16. All right, so that's everything that's due from you. And I'm going to show you these things in TaskStream in just 1 minute.
Okay.
All right. So.
And Dr. Lamb, I'm going to send them this video too later on, so you'll be able to go back and look at this.
All right. Spring 17, the rest of you should be in spring 17 full semester master's program. Is that correct, Dr. Stedman?
All of you should be completing 604 this semester, the rest of you.
Okay, for 604.
Right? Shake your head yes if I'm right.
Yeah, they are, because I had them in class last semester. All right, 604 Blackboard coursework to include your discussion boards, assignments, evidence artifact, peer reviews of evidence artifact task. TaskStream DRF portfolio artifacts are due are the skip and the CAP. If you can get both of those knocked out this semester, that'll just leave you the SIOP for the summer. Remembering that's a little faster pacing, but you've only got 10 weeks in the summer, and of that you can only use 6 of them. All work's due 4 weeks before the end of the summer because you're graduating this summer. So you need to knock out the skip and the task at least this semester. There are no dispositions or competency analysis, and that's not by accident. That's because you need to spend your time on the skip and the CAP getting ready for summer. Your requirement is to complete your second round of 21 competency evidence proofs. uploaded and request comments. And if you're smart, you'll try to get started on that last round so that you've got, as much of that last round as you can do this semester would be wise. Remembering you've only got, 6 weeks in the summer to get all this stuff done. And the first 4 weeks are about the busiest 4 weeks of the year. The last 2 weeks with testing and run up to testing, in the 2 weeks check out, and the last days. I mean, by the time June 15 rolls around, you only have 2 weeks left before everything is due. Let me say that again. Everything is due like the June 30th, July 1st. Everything is due. We want it in before you go on vacation. It has to be in. And so that means 6 weeks from the time that we start, and there's only 2 weeks after June 15th, because everybody says, well, as soon as school's out, I'll really get on this stuff. It's really busy here with testing and checkout and everything, end of year procedures. Yeah, I know. But then you've only got 2 weeks.
Dr. Lamb, I'm going to go on record as saying what you see under spring 2017, everything on there, unless you have cleared it with me that there's a problem beyond your control and you need an extension, I need what he's telling you to have done by the end of this semester. I've taught in the summer. Dr. Lamb has taught in the summer. You can say, well, I promise you, when it's over with, you're going to look back and you're going to probably kiss both of us and say thank you for making us go ahead and do it. So let's not let it be an option. Let's go ahead and just get it done.
Knock this stuff out and you should be good. So that's what y'all have to do right now. So let me do a new share here and go back to desktop, and then get rid of that, and I'm going to go get an exit out of that, and I'm going to go and move that down here. And nope, I don't want to go there. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go here. All right, so let's look in TaskStream quickly.
And Dr. Lamb, I want them all to, I've gone and looked at everything that you have cleared in TaskStream at this point. So I know where all of you are.
All right, so this is for those of you who are in the spring 17, and the fall 16 looks just like this. As I said, for those of you, all you got to do is to skip in the cap this semester. You don't have to do any dispositions or analysis or any of those things. For those of you who are in 605, you've got to do dispositions and analysis. But if you click on analysis and view edit your response, you'll notice there's no boxes there. All you have to do, once you have completed task 6, once you have it, all you have to do is come in here and click on Met on all these and save and return and submit it.
Dr. Lamb.
I'm not even going to make you do a copy and paste, because again, I want you to get this. I want you to get moving on this. And so,
Dr. Lamb, what if they were in 601 and they didn't do some of the things that they were supposed to do? Tell them what they have to go back and do.
Well, if anything you're missing, you got to go back and finish.
So I needed you to say that. So if you need to go back and look, because there's some things that's missing with some of you. So the thing is, it doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter. You've got to fix it. So make sure that you go back to 601 and you make sure everything was cleared in 601. If it's not, you put it in there and fix it. Okay?
Yeah, and you can go to your scores results page if you're not sure. Just click on your scores result tab and look, and it will tell you what you've still got in progress and what you've done and what the results are, and you can see what you're missing. Simply click on your scores results tab and it'll tell you what you're missing. And so if you're missing anything in 601 through 603 or 4, you can go back and fix it now. But again, those of you in 604 this semester, you just got to get your skip and cap in, your DRF portfolio. Those of you in 605, you've got to do the SOP, the School of Ed dispositions and competency analysis. But I have taken out the boxes so that you don't have to write anything there. You just got to click them once you have completed SOP Task 6. Now, final competency folio. I did a video on this week, but let me show you. There's a 2-minute video, but this is how fast it goes. Once you have completed your competency folio, it's got to be complete now. Once you have all 3 rounds in there, you come over here to your DRF portfolio, click on Final Competency Folio. Move this out of my way.
Dr.
Then
Lamb,
click
that's why I wanted to tell them, if you've got to have 3 rounds, remember, and some of you, I went back and looked, and for some reason it's not there. At this point, you've still got to have 3 rounds. You've got to clear with 3 rounds. So if you do 1 round one day and you do another round the next day, at this point, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. So once you click on Final Competency Folio, you click on Attachments. Then you come over here to add new attachment and you click on an artifact created in TaskStream, lesson, folio, etc. You click on that one and it'll give you a drop down menu. Select category, web folio. Select work and it will show the name of yours that you have already uploaded in your folio and web pages. You click on it, click on add file. And see, it just loaded that one, save and return, and then OK, and then submit. It's just that simple. And I did a video, and your instructors have it. And move it out of the way. And so that's how you will submit it once you have it. Now, let's go over and look at it. It's going to stone me here. No, I'll submit later. Your folios and web pages, you know, I've got different themed ones here according to when you put them in. You should have one that basically says your competency folio. And now you know how this works. You go in and choose the appropriate button and upload the artifact that represents that particular competency. Let me remind you, if you haven't worked on this in a while, make sure you select the proper button for the type of media that you're trying to upload. This is really the only mistake that you can make here. I have embedded the digital ones in it so you don't have to do digital. Remember, you don't have to do digital learning competencies. That's just for your knowledge. I have embedded them in the first 21, so that makes it easier for you. This is where you can upload your internship log for comments. Once you have your logs completed, you submit them over in your DRF portfolio. But this is just for comments here. But if you're going to upload something under communication, make sure, or any of the 21 here, make sure you pick the right button. If you're lucky and you've picked the wrong button, if you're lucky, it'll give you an error statement. If you're unlucky, it will assume that you will assume that it uploaded it, and then when we go and get it and then you've requested comments, there's nothing there. That happens quite frequently, and students will say, I know I uploaded that. You did. You just used the wrong button. So let me go over the buttons again. Text and image, that would be a PNG, which is a screenshot, a JPEG, which is the picture you took with a camera on your phone, or a scan that you took with an all-purpose scanner. So a scan is SCAN, and it has a number. So a scan, a PNG, which is a screenshot, or a JPEG, which is a picture. You use the text and image button. If you did a PowerPoint or a Prezi, or there is something in Google that does something that looks like that, and I don't even know the name of it. There's more stuff out there that I can keep up with. If it's a slideshow like PowerPoint or Prezi, use the slideshow button. If it's a Word document or a Excel PowerPoint spreadsheet, use attachments. Please remember, don't try to upload pages. which is just a little notepad from Apple, it won't upload, or we can't download it on the other end. It'll upload, but that's one of those that I get. Well, I had it in Pages and I put it in there. Well, the TaskStream is not compatible with that, and it won't show an attachment on our end. Video is if you do an MP4, like with your phone, you put it under videos, and if you upload one like a Zoom to YouTube and have a link, you use the link button. Okay. I know that's all self-explanatory, or at least I would think it is, but, you know, about a third of the submissions that we get, we go in and look, and we can't download them. They're there, but they open as a garbled line of text, or they're not there at all. Or we get an error statement when we go try to, because you didn't use the right button. So if you'll use the right button, you really can't go wrong here. And as I said, I have integrated digital learning competencies in the others. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to do them separately. They're integrated in. See right here, one of these three must satisfy the following digital learning competency: promote and model positive digital as well as practical policies for communication. Now, so what I did is I figured out, in my opinion, which one of each of these digital competencies fit with these regular administrative competencies and put them there, so that you would still only have to do 3, but one of them will be digital. And so if you don't think that I picked the right ones, just keep it to yourself. Just upload something and keep moving. But I made that call. They were never intended to be separate things. They were intended to be a part of what you were doing already, digital work. So again, when you can, now here's the trick about requesting comments, and please, if you can, do this for Dr. Stedman's sake. When you say you went in and uploaded 5 things tonight, Nadine or Jeff, and you uploaded 5 things. When you come over here to request comments, check the 5 that you uploaded. Instead of doing this 5 times, do it 1 time. Select 5 of these, continue, select Dr. Stedman from the list, and what will happen is he'll only get one email. He will only get 1 email.
And Dr. Lamb,
when he opens it up, they'll all be there in red for him to look at, but he'll only get 1 rather than 5.
and unless you just, really and truly, I am the only person you really need to check and send it to.
Yes.
You don't need to send it to anybody else but me.
So it's okay to do it a little bit at a time to you?
It is, Laura, but I would prefer it just consumes so much of my time when you do one and submit it individually. I'd rather, even if you're working on them, wait and send me several at one time.
That's what I was.
While I'm in there, it makes it, while I'm taking the time to do that, it just doesn't, I've got to spend the same amount of time if I'm already there. So it does. I'd rather get 4 or 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And I've had people to submit all 21 at one time for me. I'm okay with that as well.
Okay.
And I just really don't want to get 1 or 2 at a time.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah, that's kind of that's perceptive on Laura's part. What I like to see is, and I tell my interns, I like to see 5 at a time. You can put them in there, but you don't have to, you can put them in 1 at a time, but wait till you get about 5 to request comments. But yeah, you
submit it to me. Yeah.
You got 1, just go drop it in there. You don't have to request comments. It's not automatic. Drop them in there, and after a couple of weeks, when you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, then go in, click on request comments, and each one that you've uploaded, just click on it, and we'll go look at it. But boy, it becomes really cumbersome when you've got 63 of these to look at, and people put them in 1 at a time, and they put them, especially my group tends to put them in the middle of the night, like at 1 in the morning when I'm trying to go to bed.
Dr. Lamb,
there's only 1.
will I get an email? Will I get an email confirmation that something's there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just that has not changed. I'll get an email that they've submitted something for me to look at.
Don't wear other people out like your instructor or somebody else. Dr. Stedman's the only one that needs to see it. And as I said, he needs to see about 5 at a time. Otherwise, boy, it becomes really cumbersome stopping what you're doing, opening up task stream and going in there and getting it to load and doing all that business. And then you get there and there's only one. You're like, huh, I just spent 15 minutes getting in to do a 15-second look at one. But, you know, that's if you've only got one left to do the one. But, you know,
Right.
But yeah, you can put them in one at a time, but you don't have to request comments until you get a cluster of them. Okay. And please don't hit the all button. Put one in. Now that's what I really like. Now you talking about getting mad? I get hot. I've had some that go in and put one in, and they'd click on the select all under comments, and everything in there was lit up with needs. Comments requested on everything in there, and I have to open up every box, and there's only one that they've uploaded. Well, that was the easiest for me. I just clicked that button. It was easy. Yeah, I'm gonna come through the screen and pull all your nose hairs out if you do that. Or I have to go through every box to try to find the one that you uploaded. And so.
Well, and the thing is, Dr. Lamb, we have to comment back in that to clear it out. We have to stop and make a comment in it that there's nothing there to review. So again, that's very, very important that you take the time and do it right the first time, because it does take up so much of our time that we really don't have to do that.
So you see this right here. I'm guessing you can see this on. Do not click that button. That's the idiot button. That's
what if we really are requesting them on all?
Yeah, unless you're requesting of it, all of them. But what I'll have them is, well, they said, well, rather than take the time to go through the list and find that one that I put in there, because that might take me a second, I just clicked on this. Well, that means I have to go to every one of these and clear it out, and I have to put something. I actually have to type something in the box before it will clear. And so what I do is I sit and have to click through 24 boxes and put an X in them to find one in the 25th box. And so what I'll do is I'll run a little like a game. Which one will I find it under? I start guessing. How many of these boxes will I have to open before I find that one? But yes, that is the appropriate button to click if you have loaded something in each one of them.
It's like a game of craps.
It is. It's exactly what it is. But, at 1 o'clock in the morning, you get one, they've selected all, and you open 25 boxes, put 25 X's in, and then 35 minutes later, you have looked at one competence. You have looked at one competency 35 minutes later, and you're like, and so be smart with this is it. So that's what you got to do this semester. Get your competency folio again until it's ready to roll, until all 63 are in there. Don't move it over. But when all 3 rounds of 21 are in there, move it over for evaluation. And again, for comments, Dr. Stedman's the only one that needs to see it. You don't have to write War and Peace. We're just looking for the things. We're looking for the stuff that you produced. And let me show you the reference. This is the last thing I have for you tonight. Let me log out.
Dr. Lamb, while you're going there, just remember, now, Laura, you and Travis will have to submit your internship log as well this time with a minimum of 400 hours. And the rest of it, you will submit it the end of in the middle of the summer. You'll have to actually do it about midway the summer. That's why you need to go ahead and get your stuff done.
Yeah.
Dr. Stedman, if we have that amount of time, can we submit it early, or do we need to wait a little bit longer?
No, you're in your 5th semester, so you can submit your work anytime you need to submit it now. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You're going to have to keep on working to the end of the row anyway. It's really not going to matter. You've just got your hours.
All right. So if we look at an evidence is a document that demonstrates or confirms the work. An artifact is a product resulting from a school leader's work. It's a thing. Evidence is a written narrative. Artifact is a thing that's generated. And then if we go to the actual, if we look at this, you have to write an evidence that shows what you did here, and then it tells you what artifacts, suggested artifacts. These are things that you would have produced. And this is how you're evaluated as a principal and assistant principal. You write an evidence narrative in each one of these areas. The first one is strategic leadership. And then you write one for instructional leadership. That's like the app cell. And then you write one for cultural. That's the CAP. Human resources leadership. That's the OMA, or that's from the OMA. Managerial. That's from the OMA as well. External development leadership. That's your SCIP. Micro-political, that's from 601 and 5, the leadership pieces. You have to write them in evidence. You can see you got to write 6 evidences here. You got to write them in evidence for each of these areas. And at the end of each of these, it tells you what artifact would have been generated from if you actually did that work. So you have to prove that you did the work, just like you do with us on your evidence artifact. And we have you doing the 6 evidence artifacts that represent the parts of a school improvement plan, because that's what this represents, a working school improvement plan. So you can see we don't just throw these terms around. Evidence and artifact is not interchangeable. The evidence is the narrative. The artifact's the thing. The competency folio is just for the things. The evidence narratives, the 6 evidence and the DRF, that's just the narrative work. You don't have to attach peer reviews or your artifacts to those. That's just, we want to read the narrative. We want to read the story. Now, tell us a story. So that's why we do what we do.
Now, Dr. Lamb, all of you are, some of you are finishing this time and some of you are just about to finish. Work smart. If in the development of these evidences over the course of the last year and a half, there's things that you can use in the end, go back and copy and paste things that you can use. It's okay. You've got a lot of stuff built into a lot of the work that you've done already.
If we're done with our competencies early and you've approved them, can we submit them early, or do we wait until next semester?
You're still going to have to do some things. If you've got the summer to go, you're going to have to show something that last semester. So you're going to have to hold out with those competencies until that last semester for the 3rd round. Right, Dr. Lamb?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Now, you can do it early in that semester. You can go ahead and start working on things and then have them in a bank somewhere and use them at that time. You just can't submit them until then.
Okay. And how do a lot of interns get summer hours since most of us aren't in school?
2 weeks, go and watch them schedule.
Okay.
That's the best.
And again, they're closing out a year and starting a year, so there's a lot of things that, there's just a lot of tasks that you can help with, which is a part of leadership. You've got to close out a year and you got to start a year at the same time.
And they'll be looking. I know they make the preliminary master schedule in the summer, in the spring, but in the summertime they'll get the final run back and start working through that and making sure they've got the rooms and the books and all that stuff from the master schedule. If you'll commit to go there either 4 hours, 10 hours a day, if they're working 4-day weeks, you can get 4 10s from Monday through Thursday. That's the best. Do that 2 weeks, and that's your 80 hours. And all you have to do is commit 4 days on 2 weeks to be there for 10 hours. Most places work 4 10s in the summer rather than 5 8s at the schools, and everybody takes Friday off in the summertime.
And some of you, I think, Nadine, you're at a year-round school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah.
But I know that some of you have summer jobs and other things going on, but that's the quickest way that I know of is to do 8 days, 10-hour days and be there. But be selective about, do you have is this going to be working on schedule and other closeout, opening school? You may,
And, you know, somebody like Jeff that works at the high school, 71st High School, they've got credit recovery for those students going on during that time. That would be a wonderful time, Jeff, to get your time in working with credit recovery during that time. Over with.
Yeah, summertime, just knock it out. Just grind out the hours. You know, you could volunteer to work in the office during the day. I know sorting mail and answering the phone is not what you want to do, but it'll get you some hours. I mean, we understand that there's, you know, that in the summer there's not much opportunity to do the things that we would like for you to do. But there's, you know, sometimes, you know, leadership's just about grinding it out as well.
And Dr. Lamb, we have had some that their site administrator has allowed them to go where there is a year-round program and work with someone else. They've approved that as well.
Or just somebody else that's doing a schedule or something like that. Or let them go over to a different grade level so that they can just get some experience seeing what's going on. Volunteer and lend a hand if you're in elementary, go to the high school and vice versa. We have a lot of folks who do that. But the best way is to try to get 10 days, 2 weeks is your best bet. And it doesn't have to be at your school. In the summertime, we're real liberal. I like it when you go to a different school and see what's going on. And kind of set in on what they're doing. I mean, it can be at your school. It doesn't have to be at a different school.
Right.
Dr. Stebbins, that's all I've got.
Okay, guys, do you have any questions of Dr. Lamb before we leave? I've recorded this. I will be sending you a YouTube link later this evening. Once I get it recorded and get it, that I'll send you the information so you can go back and look at this again. But you can email me, and if I don't have an answer, you can email Dr. Lamb. Dr. Lamb will respond back to any questions you have concerning this as well.
So I have one question, and I don't know who it's for. Dr. Stedman, I think you made mention of if we're done already with the competencies, we'll still have a third round. What does that mean, we'll have a third round?
Okay.
You got to have 3 for each of the 21. You got to have 3 examples.
And remember, one has to be open-ended.
Right. So what if we've already done 3 for each of them?
And you've got it done, then you can submit it now.
Okay. Well, that was the question that was asked earlier. Somebody asked that. So you are okay if they've got all 3 done for them to go ahead and submit that. Okay.
So then as long as it says, like if Dr. Stedman, you would put on there, I don't know, ready for submission or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
That's when you're saying at that point, we can submit.
Okay.
Yeah. What I would do is I would hit that select all button and send it to Dr. Stedman, let him check it over one time and make sure it's ready to go. I wouldn't normally allow this, but coming up summer, anything you can get off your plate now.
Okay.
This is going to be a particularly short summer.
Okay. Well, somebody had asked that question a while ago, and we said differently. So this clarifies that then. So it is okay if you're in semester 4, if you're through, to go ahead and send that to me then.
I thought you were referring to if you had 2 rounds done. No, if you've got all 3 rounds done, normally I wouldn't go for this, but this is going to be a particularly short summer this year.
Clarify open-ended just to make sure.
Anything from your list of suggested activities for clinical experiences. I'll put that on the screen right now.
Show that.
And Dr. Lamb, they should have that in their Blackboard. They should be able to go in there and find that information.
Yeah, we have it in all Blackboard shells have that. Open-ended competency artifacts from the suggested list of leadership opportunities and activities for all male student interns. These things will generate an artifact. And they become your open-ended artifacts that go in for competency artifacts. They become the open-ended one. And I've even got them categorized where they should go. If you got an agenda from where you addressed a small or large group of adults, that would go under dialogue, inquiry, or communication. If you've got notes from an SST meeting, you put those under sensitivity. Look at that, how easy that is.
That's the list we worked on.
Okay, and all of you should,
That's the list you've
all
been
of you
working on.
should be able to go to your Blackboard account and find this.
Yeah. And so if you go to Dr. Stedman's intern shell, let me see. Okay.
So just curious, I guess, especially while he's looking to Laura, because you're working on this now. Summer, so our summer session is going to be 6 weeks-ish, like before we have to submit. SIAP, the SIAP is how bad is it? I'm concerned
It's
about
easy. It's easy. Shouldn't take you more than 2 hours.
to do the whole task.
No.
Yeah.
As a student, no. It took much longer. And I'm only finishing up my third and getting started on my fourth.
Yeah, 6
Dr. Stedman, you're going to have to put it. It's not going to let me put it in there for some reason. All right.
Okay, I will get that information.
Get that in there. If you will look at templates right here in his intern shell, you see the one for the SIOP right here? This is my gift to you. If you open this up.
It's there. That you I thought. Okay.
Where it says background information, description, setting, all you have to do is do a copy and paste to skip task 1, prompt 1. That's it.
Nice.
And then for prompt 1, these are the pieces you got to have. App cells, task 1 through 3. Be sure to add EVOS if it wasn't in there. And then OMA. And all you have to do is copy and paste them. You don't have to add any linking narrative. It's all, and every one of these, I've got exactly what you got to go copy and paste and read.
So that's going to be shared with us. Is that correct? Is that what
It's
you're
in
saying?
it's in your internship shell now with Dr. Stedman. It's under 10.
Awesome. Okay.
It's already there.
And it didn't make sense, but now it makes sense. That you
Well,
said.
good. I told y'all this would be a good meeting.
And so I thought we already had that open-ended in there.
It is, Dr. Lamb. I've seen it. I just can't tell you where I've seen it.
It may be under your view and not under mine, I'm thinking. Maybe that's it. But anyway, but the templates are there. And all you got to do is go to templates and click on the SIOP.
Well, now I've sent it to now, except for the 2 new people, Doris and DeWall, because I didn't have them. The rest of you, I've sent this to you before. You may not remember it, but I've sent all this to you before. But I'll do it again.
And we do have it somewhere. I think I just didn't realize the heading,
Okay. Okay, good.
said
Good.
open-ended.
Good. Okay.
Now, if you open up the Site Mentor Handbook that is under Handbooks, it's got the same list. It just doesn't have them categorized as to which competencies they fit. I went back and did that later. And so here are the
That's
competencies.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, look at there. Oh, it does have them too. I went back and replaced it. That's why I
I
did that.
thought that's where it is
I
then.
went
Okay.
back and replaced it under Site Mentor Handbook. I took the old one out and put the new one in that that reflects where they are. So it is in there already. I knew it was. I just wasn't smart enough to remember where it is. So if you will go to Handbooks and then Site Mentor Handbook, that list is in there. I knew it was in there. There it is. It's already there, and your template is already there. That template is, you should send me a small gift for that template, I'm telling you. That is the time saver.
Hey, if you're at our graduations, we'll give
Oh,
you.
you know I'll be there.
And I'm going to be there too.
Oh, I'll be at graduation. Yeah, I don't miss that.
I don't like to wish time away, but May 12th cannot get here quick enough.
Oh, I know. I understand.
Right behind you, though.
Well, the only time you'll have more anxiety is when you're in your doctoral program, because you'll swear, I'm going to be in a car wreck before graduation. I spent all this time, 6 years in this program, and it's going to be snatched away from me. I didn't sleep like 2 weeks before graduation. I just knew something was going to happen. That's the only time you'll have more anxiety waiting on graduation is when you're in your doctoral program.
But Laura, look what you've accomplished with everything that you've faced over the last year and a half. Look what you've accomplished. You've done a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
true. That's true. All right. What's next?
That's it. Guys, I will get this to you probably tonight sometime, but at least by tomorrow you'll get this video and you can go back and look at it as many times as you need to. But I felt like you needed this, and I can already tell. I can see happiness on your faces because we've had this time together.
Oh, yeah.
Agree.
All right, Dr. Stephen,
appreciate
I'll
your
see you
time.
tomorrow night.
Turn it back to me. I'll talk to you later, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.